Been a minute, seemed like, even though I go live every day for NBA Picking with Pop. But this type of live, it seems like I ain't do a show in a long time. We ain't gonna wait for people to come in. If they don't really rock with us, it's all good, but let's go though. Yes. Yes, 2 times. Y'all know the vibes. She like, ooh la la, they go, ooh la la, she like, ooh la la, they go, ooh la la, on a Sunday, best day, best day, looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here. One more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Because over here on my side, we deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes. When those people don't be acting flaky. Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you run off the page, Diddy to the left, Usher to the right, I'm going to need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking. But you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. We in the end game. And we is in the end game, people, because it's Sunday fun day. It's Easter for a lot of y'all. You know, y'all put y'all best clothes on, came outside looking, ain't nobody dope as me. I dress so fresh and so clean. Came outside looking so fresh and so clean. And shout outs to you. If that's how you came out and that's how you was feeling today on this Sunday fun day, the first Sunday of April. And the year is flying by like that. Just like that, it's the 4th month. So if your year ain't kick off the way you want it, technically this is the time you're supposed to be really being reinvigorated and having that vigor, you know what I'm saying? Because, side note, I ain't even expected to say this, you know my show unscripted. We don't have no set format. When we do celebrate Happy New Year and all that shit, it's in the dead middle of winter. Like winter is just kicking off, you know, everything's dead, metaphorically, you know what I mean, so to speak. You know, the plants and stuff like that, and trees and all that is dying out, even though they still alive, but you get what I mean. The green and the colors and all that, it seems to go away and it's cold. Old man winter's here. And then in the springtime, things come back to life, you know. The sunshine sprinkles, the water come down, the May flowers, April showers, etc. And life is in the air. You know, the birds is chirping, flowers is blooming, a lot of brand new cars be zooming, fly girls looking the best they could be. It's a Bismarck reference early in the show, right? Feeling good, I'm feeling blessed. Haven't done the show in a little couple of days, I ain't gonna lie, like this cure of violence work that I'm in now. You know, I'm full transparency on the channel about some stuff about my life, not all. Everything ain't an open book to you motherfuckers, know what I mean? I ain't scared of you motherfuckers, but everything ain't an open book to y'all. But the stuff that I want to talk about, then I do. And, you know, now I do, you know, I do work in the cure violence, you know, space, sector. And so it's just been real busy. The summertime is heating up. little YN niggas is rubbing their hands like Birdman so that they could do the most. And that brings us, unfortunately, to our first topic of why we're in the end game. So yesterday, I was in Brooklyn Zoo. I was in Brooklyn, you know what I mean? To, for the visual, the celebration, if you will, of life, even though life was taken, unfortunately. To show solidarity, to show presence with my organization, and shout outs to all the other various organizations that was out there. For baby K, aka the 7-month-old baby Kiora, who died on Wednesday, I believe. In a stray bullet shooting with allegedly, maybe kind of sort of allegedly, right? I don't know. I know they're dealing with a lot, and I got to see that firsthand. Although you can never experience that firsthand, and I hope I never do. I hope none of you never do. I hope none of your family members, your loved ones, etc. I hope you never have to experience that pain of a mother losing her child, especially so young like that. I hope that never happens. But in this line of work or what I do, it took me to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And so I was out there firsthand, and let me see.
House. In our house. We should be losing our ever-loving minds.
Great fire on the check-in.
So when you lose your mind, you start hugging and start loving on our communities. Start loving and hugging on everybody in that house. Start checking those people that's in your house and holding them accountable. That's how we change community. So we're going to let you pray us out. We are so grateful that you came. We thank everybody that came from all over our crisis management system. We love you. Y'all came out from all over the world. We love you. Y'all don't never disappoint. And we took our time to do this for a reason. Because we wanted to make a statement. We wanted to let Brooklyn, we wanted to let Bushwick know.
Brooklyn?
That it's not just them. This is a nationwide, citywide fight.
That's right.
And we're going to come together whenever we need to. God bless y'all.
I'm going to stop it right there, even though this video was like a...
Thank you all so much for coming out here.
The video was like 4 minutes long. The grandmother, I didn't see the mother, I didn't see the father. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with them not showing. I'm not saying that they wasn't there. I didn't see them. But if they wasn't there, I can understand that, this is an overwhelming time. This is an overwhelming time of grief. And side note, when I do my lives and I have topics of, yes, I have predetermined topics. Like I know what I'm going to talk about. I don't have a preconceived notion of how I'm going to, convey a message, give my spiel on it or not. But just even saying that, just what I said, you can never understand or relate to a parent losing they baby. And what it made me think of just now while I said that is not to, I'm going to say, maybe like a month ago, maybe like, late February, maybe even the middle of March, right? I had attended a funeral, and I think I spoke about it. My job brings me to situations and things like this, right? So we went to the funeral on 137th Street. I think that's the Abyssinian Church, and I'll get back to Brooklyn. But the little two-year-old boy, right, who got beaten, by his father, allegedly, maybe kind of, sort of, and beat him to death, right? And the casket is so small, it's like as small as I ever seen. The doctor, who I affectionately call, Dr. Aisha Sekou, the co-founder and CEO of Street Corner Resources, right? My mentor, my boss. I use boss, but rather really mentor. She like, I seen one even smaller than this. A little baby, right? And now you fast forward 4 weeks, month and a half. We at the visual and the celebration, the commemoration. For life, obviously, or the life that was taken, to show support to the family. So if they didn't come, basically what I'm saying is I understand that. But now the allegations is, that maybe kind of sort of, again, I'll use that loosely because I'm not trying to pile on or be insensitive to what just happened. You know what I mean? Where life was lost, right? And what they saying or they trying to push a narrative is that, you know, though it was a stray bullet and not meant for baby K, I'm saying her name for short, Kaori, you know what I mean? That it was meant for the father, right? And I'm not saying that that's true. I'm not saying that that's false. What I'm saying is let's take them out of it and let's make it a more broader topic now so that it doesn't seem like I'm being insensitive or we piling on to a family who just lost their baby girl, because that's not my intentions. But this is a teaching moment for women, for men, for young children. And this is why. Ladies, gentlemen, and lowlife. It's what our grandest pleasure, like a Slick Rick reference, but not to introduce Slick Rick, you know what I mean, the ruler. To introduce that if you a young lady, you know what I mean, and I don't know how old she is, I didn't Google or none of that, you know what I'm saying? Again, this is a broader message. If you a young lady, a woman, and you dealing with somebody that's gang, they with the shits, they got a little status, they the big and whoop-de-woo, right? Then most likely what comes with that? Ops. Unfortunately, even though they may look like me and you, and 11 minutes into the show, but you're black, right? You're black, and you got ops because you're a op-de-op or you're whoop-de-woo. So when you get with them, you get serious with them, you have kids by them, this is possibly could happen. This is the worst case scenario. Let's make no mistake about it. But is it really? Because what conjure ups in my mind is the rapper nigga, right? And I can't even think his name. His name is not even worth naming, to keep it a buck, right? Out there in Chicago. And y'all know I often rub my hands like Birdman on some playing shit, but I'm not playing. I'm dead ass serious. When I say y'all never go to Chicago, like shit, them niggas is crazy, shit crazy. And he had pulled up to a McDonald's drive-in with his 6-year-old baby girl, if I'm not mistaken. And niggas came and tore the car up, tore the shit to pieces. He lived. He got hit, I think. He lived, but his baby girl died. So what I say is not far-fetched to say that if you're dealing with somebody that's out there and they about that life, then it's a possibility that what comes with that life is hardship, horrific situations, possibly, you know what I mean? And it's just disheartening to see, the grandmother who I stopped the video because I guess she was supposed to end out with prayer, and she can't pray. She just, whoever the preacher was, the gentleman who ended up doing the prayer, he just held her in the shoulder, under the arm, and she just couldn't even see her face. Now, I did see a video of her speaking, you know what I'm saying? One speaking about forgiveness, which is tough. That's tough. That's really, really tough. And also just saying that more resources is needed in the community. As you can see when I was, putting the camera around to show all the other cure violence, organizations, right? And I'll say this, and I'll say this a lot. I repeat certain things often so that they can be internalized, hopefully, right? Maybe. And that's this. You do not have to be a cure violence worker to do cure violence work in your neighborhood, in your household, with your friend, with your kids' friends. This is what you're supposed to be doing anyway, in my mind, in my heart. That's what my spirit says. This is what you're supposed to be doing anyway, unless you cool with babies being killed. And Cameron in the movie Paid in Full, the iconic role that he played, because it was a iconic individual who he played, no matter how you view him, as far as the ratting and, and all that shit, right? We're talking about AZ, we're not talking about AZ, we're talking about Alpo. And in the movie, when he was telling, AZ after he done got, hit in his family, right? In the robbery that turned to some homicides, right? He said, niggas get killed every day, B. Like, you strong, right? You could take it, right? And although he was playing, the whole movie is iconic because of the individual's lifestyle who the movie was loosely based on, right? Hood shit, basically. But that's one of the lines that, the memes that was made out of that movie where niggas get killed every day, B. And we cannot get so desensitized that we cool with babies being killed every day, B. And so you as a parent, you as a neighbor, you as somebody in the neighborhood, it's your job. It's your job. We can go back and forth in a dialogue or, a debate, a discourse, however you want to frame it. But it's your job and your duty, especially if you're a man. Especially if you wear that burden of broad shoulders, airport backs, strong arms. Allah made us first. Then because of the loneliness, let me take your rib and let me create a companion for you. Eve, right? The Adam and Eve, if you want to subscribe to that. Then if you want some, the first black, the first humans on this earth is the black man, etc., right? I'm not even going to go into all that. You get the point and you see where I'm driving this vehicle. It's your duty. Then you add to that, if you're someone like me who was adding to the fuckery, been in and out of prison, did shit in the neighborhood, know what I mean? Been shot at niggas. Attitude is gangster. So you stay in some beef. And you make it through the storm, like Busta Rhymes. Been through the storm, through the cold and rain. Everything's still the same. Can't control how I feel. Sometimes it's hard to keep it real. Sometimes it's hard to keep it real. Because people look at it like hate when you tell them the truth. If you've been through the storm, and you've been inside somebody's cage, and you've been on that yakisobe and that chili con corn and I don't care line, and you make it home, all in one tack, still sane to a degree, because Keith telling me all the time, I'm bugged out. Nigga, you're crazy, shit crazy. Then it's your duty to make sure people don't go do what you want to do. And that's why I quote that Hove line that says, Hove sold crack. So hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that. You was raised in the projects, roaches and rats, smokers out back, selling their mama sofa. So I done did the bid so that my son don't got to do a bid. And not to say that I did that for that purpose. What I'm saying is, if you did a bid, then your nephews, your little cousins and them, they shouldn't do no bids at all. If you're a leader and you want to stop the cycle and you want to break the cycle, that's your job. Now you got one job. And that's to stop that. And, to the fellas, same way I started with where the ladies at. If you dealing with somebody that's gang or they about that life, they carrying guns, they shooting at people, they killing people, they taking life, then yeah, you have to expect that he might get popped. You might be with him. You might take a shot. You might be going for SunDaY ice cream with your baby and the baby might get shot. And that's horrible to say, but that's the reality. You can dread it. You can run from it, but destiny arrives all the same. It does. And so the same way with the ladies, fellas, if you dealing with a chicken head, a bird brain, somebody that ain't got nothing up cat, they mad aggressive, they mad masculine, they mad on some bullshit, right? And you seen the red flags from the jump, but you still spreaded cheeks, you still spreaded legs, cause they was easy and they look good, and you gonna do and be what a man is gonna be, and you going booty clapping sounds, you gonna smack them cheeks, but then you get her pregnant, and then now the car just, the ball is out of your court. So she keeps the baby, and now you a baby daddy of somebody that's not all right. They had a lot of trauma. They not all there. They're bird brain, You know what I mean? They got nothing to offer but boxing tattoos. And I'm just being funny. But I'm not. Right, but I'm not. You going to have to deal with everything that comes with that type of situation. Every single thing. And moms might be the same. You're dealing with your baby moms and her moms. And her motherfucking bum ass, brothers and cousins that's out there like that. That's what you're going to have to deal with. And if you don't want to deal with that, you got to make better decisions for yourself and your life. Because la, wait till I get my money right. La. Like, this is your life. So live yours. Don't let nobody dictate and put you in the box of how you got to live and what you got to do, what's right for you and what's not. You know what's right for your life. You should. You should be taking real inventory of it and nobody else. You can take counsel, but this is your life and you need to live it. And if you living it by clapping cheeks of a wild stallion and they come with the fuckery, then you might be caught up in that wave. And to quote Kanye again, 18 years, she got one of your kids got you for 18 years. You stuck, homie. And you living in a fucking hellhole mentally and emotionally on a roller coaster with a piece of shit ass bird brain bitch. And I gotta say it like that because it's the truth. It's the truth. The ratchetness, the striving for nothingness, to wake up to a blunt, go to sleep to a bluntness. It's nothing. You don't want that for you. I don't want that for my sons. I don't want that for my little cousins, my little nephews. I don't want that for them. Now, what they want for themselves is something totally different. But you, as the leader, and what Ho said, so why pass go and let my nephews follow me? And that rhyme said, still the same. If I would have grew up to be a doctor, my nephews would grew up to do the same. But since I grew up in the game and my influence is the same and my therapy is music, they ask, are you ashamed? Shame. They're going to follow you, especially if they look up to you. Now we'll get to this part. And it's just to open up the show. Again, I was out there. I seen the emotions running high. It's sad. But this is why I kind of went off on that thought process at. As much cure violence workers is out there, and now we try to, stop the violence, de-escalate the violence, mediate the violence. Your kids, if they in a program like Street Corner Resources or SOS, Save Our Streets, Save, Man Up, Guns Down, Man Up, etc., Brag, Save, the various different cure violence programs. What your kids is, how long your kids is with them for? 3 hours. We got the kids from 3 to 6, depending on when they get out of school. So the reason why I pointed that out to say that you don't have to be a cure violence worker to do the work is because this is what you're supposed to be doing anyway in your own household. You're supposed to be regulating your household. If you're not regulating your household, then who is? Who's regulating your household? Because you working 3 jobs, like a story we'll talk about later. You work 3 jobs, you got 3 kids, and your kid is failing. So who's raising your kids? Is it Instagram? Is it TikTok? Is it the outside influences of the ghetto and nobody's smiling? The ghetto. Like, I'm from the ghetto. Nobody's smiling. The ghetto. And it's rough in the GHETTO. So who's raising your kids? While you working them 3 jobs just to get by. Who's raising them? Because who told you to have kids by a piece of shit ass nigga? Nigga that's in and out of jail. Nigga that's with the shits and throwing all type of hand signs and he communicating using K for the letter C. This is who you chose to have a baby with by? A baby with and by? And so, yeah, while you at work, because life is hard, who's raising your kids? So if we only with them for 3 hours a day, they in school for 8 hours a day, Hopefully they getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day. How many hours is that? That's 19 hours. It's only 24 hours in a day. Where do your influence and your teachings and your way of being shape and form them into what you want them to be, which is productive members of society? This is basic math. And when the math don't be mathing, you can have all the cure violence workers in the world in one place. That's still not going to change your kid if you're not trying to do it first from the home. And this is the last part of the story, right? This is how God works. So some people were saying in the comments, and I agree. Going back to the fact that if it was the father was the intended target, they couldn't get him, or they tried to get him, he ran, or whatever the case. They end up hitting the baby, unfortunately, right? May Allah have mercy on her, and all babies go to heaven anyway, because they ain't done nothing. They just precious souls. They ain't got a smidget of dirt on them, a sin on them. They don't even know what none of these things are. They're innocent. So she's going to get paradise. Truly believe that, right? Not so for much for me and you. Not so much, because we done lived a couple of years on planet Earth, and we done did some things that you may not be right with the Lord with, and you better get right. I'll leave it at that. But back to the two individuals, right? They living out their Nino Brown, New Jack City scene from when they was shooting up the Italian mafia dudes, right? On the back of the moped. What happened with them while they're trying to flee the scene? Some lady comes by in the car, not seeing them and, not purposely. Hit them, they falls off the bike. The shooter breaks his ankle or break his foot or whatever, or what have you. They caught the driver right away, instantly. He's telling. He's telling. But even if he wasn't, the shooter goes to the hospital in Pennsylvania for care after, killing a baby, right? Whether it's intentional or not, you still was out there shooting, so it's intentional. You're going to get everything that's coming to you, as you should, right? And you done now. You did it in done. Let me say that again. You did it in done. You just became a resident of Queens, and you're did it in done. You're done. Your life is over. Your life is over. Your life is over. And it's going to be hard. And I'll close out this segment, of this story, unfortunately, of this 7-month-old baby girl, precious life, right? With the two individuals that's going to jail for a mighty long time, probably never going to come home, probably going to be on that yakisobe and that chili con line forever. Ever. April 18th is a walkathon, a march, a marathon, some of these words I'm using because that's the words they told me to express, is the Jail Ain't Cool walk. Jail Ain't Cool marathon, Jail Ain't Cool, awareness on April 18th. And I'll be walking for the first time. The famous and well-known masjid on 116th Street. For those that's from Harlem, and for those that's not, it's called the Malcolm Shabazz. Behind Brother X, Malcolm X. I'm Malcolm X. They're going to be doing the walk. We want everybody to come out. If you denounce prison and you've been there before, if you've never been there before and don't want to go, you don't want your little cousins, your little nieces and nephews to go, then we want you to come out, show solidarity and walk with us to denounce and say that jail ain't no good. And the same way that it's said, jail ain't no good, and it's not the proper grammar for those that have been to school and all that. Y'all know I got my GED. I know how to count 1, 2, 3 and ABC, right? I'm being funny, but I'm not. We want y'all to come out and support us. We want y'all to come out and support the walk. And we'll be walking at 11 o'clock in the morning from 116th Street to 135th, back around to 116th Street, from Lenox to 7th and back down. Just to bring awareness. Obviously, in my book, somebody that been to prison 3 times. I'm not bragging. I'm not, glorifying it. I was a fool. You know what I mean, like you was a fool once, twice, 3 times. The lady, um, you know, we did dumb shit and we paid the price. But I don't speak about it in a sense of, bigging it up. I speak about it in the sense of don't do what I did. Don't do what I did, right? Don't do what I did. It ain't gonna cover. Sorry, I'm looking at the scores real quick. Don't do what I did. Don't go to prison because prison ain't cool. And everybody suffers when you go to prison. Your moms, your grandmother, your girl, your kids, if you got them, the community, at large. Obviously, if you was doing a lot of fuck shit, then yeah, we probably ain't gonna miss you. But in the sense of, if you was getting money, right? Like a lot of individuals do. Maybe not now so much a days. Niggas just be standing outside, holding up space and taking up air. You know what I mean? Breathing in, taking up space, not getting no money, but your money is circulated. You was taking care of your family, even though it might have been illegal. Your money is circulated to all the other businesses, and but you're black. So, we want you to come out and support us in that regard. Gonna be my first walk. I'm excited, and I'm hoping to see you there. As far as jail ain't no good. Who got the ball? Did they foul him? Mr. Yes, they ain't found. They won by 4. What was the original spread on this game? I'm sorry, guys. 3. They covered, but when it went to 6.5. Anyway, let's talk about some other trending topics, right? Shit y'all care about. Y'all don't care about no jail ain't no good. Y'all with the shits. Let's talk about this Pooh Shiesty, right? Let's talk about Pooh Shiesty. Allegedly, maybe kind of, sort of, robbing Gucci Man at not robbing him at gunpoint, making him sign him out of the contract or void the contract because he was signed to him. I don't know the record label. And how the feds came out, did a whole press conference, but now they saying it might not be enough evidence to convict. And if the glove don't fit, you must acquit, right? Interesting story. One, I'm not a Pooh Shiesty fan, not because I don't like him or I don't like his music. Just don't really know a lot about him. I mean, Pooh Shiesty, I think, the masses that the YNs is wearing, etc. Can't really think of one song that he, did. And so for the sake of purposes of being authentic on the channel, Pooh Shiesty. Let's see. Back in Blood featuring Lil Durk. Neighbors featuring Big 30. Never heard of none of these songs. 7.62 God. Never heard of none of these songs. None of these songs. Twerksome. Monday to Sunday featuring Lil Baby. Ugly featuring Gucci Man. Welcome to the Riches. Let's go with the first song. Let's see if I heard this one.
Slurp. Big
We don't own the rights to the music. Just trying to see if I heard this song.
Yeah, I get this shit in blood, huh? Bitch, I got my own. If I don't need security in the club, all they wolfing on the neck, nigga. I thought you was a thug. I ain't got nowhere to go. I shot up everywhere they was. Yeah, you know who took this shit from you? Come get it back in blood.
Never heard of him. I mean, never heard of the song. Never heard of him, basically. I mean, I'll keep saying never heard of him. Never really listened to his music. Not to say that he not nice one of my co-workers, but he a little young nigga, you know what I mean, in that sense, for what it's worth. You know what I mean? Older than what he, you know what I mean? One of them type of old, but, in the middle now. And could be considered a young nigga, but could be, you grown now, you know what I mean? So you got to change your ways type shit. But he was putting me on to him, like letting me listen to the music and shit. Lennox Ave 212, what's the word? So I'm listening, not listening, but he's saying the lyrics like, yo, I ain't catch a body in 4 years. I ain't put out a hit in 3. Like basically telling on yourself. And like what Ghostface say? Them flower pot heads must have been stupid. Tell me how the fuck black niggas get caught with all that loot, kid. That's jet money, underground money, submarines and things. Too bad you messed up, dummies. See the Wu-Tang right here. Too bad you messed up, dummies. And, I said all that to say I'm not sure if he nice. I can understand or see maybe why the young generation may rock with him, you know what I mean? And all that's cool. But now when you talk about picking up the blicky, going to get your contract null and void at gunpoint, you bringing your father, you bringing other rappers, allegedly, maybe, kind of, sort of. You're doing the most. After you just came home from federal time, like you just came home from Wyoming and all of these other, Canaan and all of these other federal institutions, right? That's just the two off my head. I know people that have been in the feds. My brother did Fed time, so I'm not new to it, right? I visited my brother in the feds. You know what I mean? You're just doing the most, or it seems like you're doing the most, because now they're saying there may not be enough evidence to convict, and that's fine. I mean, I ain't wishing nobody to go to jail. Certain motherfuckers need to be in jail. That's just the reality. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. As somebody that been there myself 3 times, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Some motherfuckers, they belong in jail. Drop the jail on them, like the fucking wicked, the wicked of the East. You know what I mean? From Oz. Drop the house on them, pack them up, tie them up, ship them off. That's a fact. You can argue with yourself, because I'm not going to go back and forth with you on that fact. I say, damn though, you just came home. You got the ankle monitor on. You're doing, the rentals again, and all this could be circumstantial, which they can convict you on circumstantial evidence. For those that don't know, Feds got a 90 to 92% convict rate. Do we want to see him come home? Is Gucci Man telling? Is he working with the police and the authorities? I don't know. As somebody that, caught a body dealing with, the Jeezy situation, you know what I mean? When they tried to rob him, etc., and he caught a body, self-defense, or he beat it or whatever. Went to jail, came home as a clone. I'm being funny, but I'm not. I don't know if he told. More information will come out. My only purpose of talking about this is we got to be more wise. We got to be more self-aware. That, my ex used to tell me, when we was arguing, sometimes that shit was toxic, I ain't gonna lie. Like, fuck you, bitch. You bitch ass nigga. Like, like the Biggie Smalls intro. And Valona, I'll slap the shit out of you, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, that type of shit, right? And it wasn't always like that. I'm being dramatic, but for those that's in relationships like that, right? She used to say, when your best thinking day is some shit like that, like, nigga, you ain't that smart, right? You done been to jail, up until that time, 2 times, etc., and them going back and all that, I be transparent on my show. I don't really lie, be capping and all that shit. If I want to talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it in full disclosure, and if I don't, then I'm gonna just say none of your business, right? But that shit used to irk me because, I got a GED. I completed ABE and all that shit. So, it used to trigger me, right? But I only say that to say, for Pooh Shiesty and for people like him that think you're going to do a robbery, allegedly, with the ankle monitor on. And then there's videos of him popping up where his parole officer is like, where are you? And he like, I'm in the house. But you riding in the Maybach or, you know, whatever vehicle you, excuse me, whatever vehicle you driving in. And he like, what he said? Refresh. Shit is hilarious, right? Refresh. And it'll show you that I'm in the house. And it's like, you're not that bright, my brother. You know what I mean? I mean, you might have made some millions. You made it to be a rapper. And that don't make you bright. It mean like the people was, you know, rocking with your music. And that ain't no real big thing now, because we know that people was down with the fuckery. They swimming in the buffoonery, and the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. So just because you can become a legend at being a rapper for some, you know, some fuck lyrics, that don't make you smart. It just make it that shit is dumbed down, and it shows a lot of people fuck with it. Because that's why I don't fuck with his music. I don't fuck with none of the drill music. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear some substance. I'd rather listen to Styles P. That might could be considered drill, but with a message. You know what I mean? I'd rather hear something, yeah, I could kill you and all that, but, you know, here go a message as well. I'd rather hear stuff like that than just I'm smoking on your dead, you know, I'm that nigga, I'm a killer, gorilla, Reggie Miller and all that. I don't want to hear all that shit. Not every day. I don't want to hear, not even on the treadmill when I'm running. Y'all know when I'm on the treadmill, I don't want to hear all that. But, his mom's is going viral before we get off this topic. And some people saying this is why he never even had a chance. He never had a chance.
He protected them. He kept them humble. He kept them 100 and kept away from around some suckers and pluckers. I pray for them. My young nigga looks so good. My whole family here. Do you know how good I feel? It's hard to get people together. It's hard to get people together and be quiet. But if you fucking play with me, they already know my own 100. Don't listen to these people, my own 100, I'm 200. That's what I be talking about. Lying in your feet, going against me. I'm 100. On a whole nother level though. I switch that shit up. I'll be 0. He protected them. He kept them humble. He kept
Super Bird. I hate to say it. It is what it is. Don't come for me, Pooh Shiesty. If you make it on, we ain't worried about none of that. People in the comments like Super Bird, I share those sentiments. They're like, he ain't have a chance since he was a kid. I share those sentiments. Because it happens in the home. That's your parent, your father, your home environment. That's where you're shaped and formed. Yes, you have good parents who shape and form their kids to do good things, and then the streets have a more overwhelming influence on your kids, so your kids tend to do what the streets do. That's totally acceptable, meaning, not acceptable, that's totally factual that happens. The streets, the environment of your neighborhood, because you didn't change your area code and your kid is growing up in the 213 or whatever, yeah, you can raise your kids to be good in your home, and there's certain things in your household that you may not accept. But once your kids go out into the world, then the outside world is absolutely possible that they have more influence over your kids than you do. But what people are saying in the comments about his moms is he never had a chance. He never had a fighting chance, because we see often too many times, you know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, you know, as far as the single baby moms, right? The single baby mothers. But where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? Oftentimes when you deal with a, you know, a Pooh Shiesty type of guy who's on drugs, in and out of prison, etc., you still open your legs, let him come inside you, right? And then you have the baby. Not only do you let him come inside you, but you still have the baby. Type of dumb shit is that, right? Like the old keeper nigga baby, right? But you have the baby. Then the father's not around to help you raise the baby because he's a deadbeat. He's in jail. He the king of the Bloods. He the king of the Yetas and all this other shit, right? But you still had the baby. And what Michael Jackson say? They got the movie coming out with Michael Jackson right now. If you can't feed the baby, then don't have the baby. Like, you'll be always crying. Like, it's simple math. And as Cam say, got the computers computing and the math is not mathing. You're going to have a baby by some bum-ass nigga that's the king of the Bloods, king of the Yetas. Yes, I'm being funny, but I'm not. You're going to let him come inside you, and then you're going to have the baby? What? How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Or the reverse. You're going to meet a chick that's down with the gangs because she look good. She got tattoos all over her body, right? And that's not an indication that she a bird, but it could be. You going to come in her, not use no protection, no dick discipline. Instead of just pulling out, busting on the cheeks, you going to come in her. She going to have your baby, and she the king of the bloods. You're dumb. You're not all there. Then you blame it on, I'm a single dad. I ain't got no, my baby mother's not around. She's running around with the gangs. Bro, didn't you meet her when she was running with the gangs? Right. So I said all that to say what goes on in your household, although it may not be the say all be all, you still want to at least start there. You don't want the streets to, you don't want to have no structure in your home. And if that's what he grew up with, man, oh man. They don't pay dues like the rules don't apply. Jaw full of suckers get twisted because you're high. Waves go dry. Waves go dry. Planes don't fly. My, oh my. Like they don't pay no dues because the rules don't apply. Jaw full of suckers get twisted because you're high. Waves go dry. Planes don't fly. My, oh my. Like, come on, bro. Which brings us to this LeBron James. We love to talk about LeBron James. I hope I got the clip. He's been spinning in the clip for a little while about this Memphis shit. Being how we just finished talking about Pooh Shiesty and all this other dumb shit. Where's the here? Go right here. LeBron James, right?
Stand at the fucking high at 41 years old. You want to do that shit? Being in Memphis on a fucking random ass Thursday. I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in NBA. Like we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got the fucking NASCAR. You got a stadium. Don't they got a hockey team too?
Yeah, Predators.
Predators. Like they got everything.
Doesn't look like LeBron's going to be on the Grizzlies anytime soon. So Grizzly fans out there.
Yeah, they know. Their only chance has been 2003 if they had won the lottery. And I might have pulled a Eli Manning and not showed up for the games.
He's just being honest. Like, can we be honest without people saying you're hating and you're jealous, etc.? This is LeBron James. Like, not one, not two, like, not three. I mean, like, we gonna win all these championships with Dwayne Wade and the Heatles. Come on. He's just keeping it real. He's not the only one because I'm seeing clips now of a lot of other NBA players talking about, the lackluster there is. That is the Memphis, right? And the environment that you're in. And I've never been to Memphis, so I can't say. But who am I to say that their experience is not what it is? These are people who've been there on multiple occasions, and they telling you like, yo, y'all niggas need to move this shit. Get up out of here. Move to Nashville. Move to a better area where it's more conducive for the people. You can't be mad at him for saying that. He's just speaking his mind. And it goes back to the ghetto, right? Legendary Bills, what's the word? Happy Sunday Fun Day. Happy Easter if you celebrate. I don't. You know what I mean? It goes back to the ghetto. Nobody's smiling. The ghetto. Like it's rough in the GHETTO. Gotta learn how to hear no evil and see no. Spit nothing but acid like a Mino. Still good for your skin though like a vino. Honeys be amazed how my Hershey Kiss ring blow. Miss being with my grandmother playing bingo. Whole album is crack. Not just a single. It's garbage if you put it on your tongue and it don't tingle. Still be in the hood, nigga. I let the thing go. Bullets gonna burn, but the razor gonna sting though. Had to say the whole line. Normally I just say the ghetto part. You know what I mean? I had to let them whole bars spill out. But it goes back to when it was the snowstorm and all that shit. And it was a whole bunch of shit on the floor, right? And people wasn't cleaning up after their dogs and their animals. And, people standing in front of your building. You know what I mean? Even though you go to work every day, you come home, you got to climb over nigger, right? You nigger. You know what I mean? I'm just a straight up N-I-double-G-A. Ice Cube used the hard ER. Nigger. And this is nigger fatigue, right? The ghetto is nigger fatigue. It's not black fatigue. I want to preference, and I want to make that distinction, not preference. I want to make that distinction Because a lot of times when it's an ill video of black people acting like niggas, doing some foul, dumb, stupid shit, in the comments it'd be like black fatigue, black fatigue. No, not black fatigue, nigga fatigue. The mindset, the attitude, the behavior, how we approach things, the perspective is nigga. Nigga, 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 please. I'm treated like a fucking disease. You say, why do I call myself a nigga so quick? Because I can reach in my drawers and pull out a bigger. Nigga say nigga, we cool, but. Cracker say nigga, nigga, nut the gut, but I gotta be the fast, nigga. To never be the last, nigga. Or I have to beat your ass, nigga. It's an Eazy-E reference. Rest in peace, Eazy-E, a.k.a. Eric Wright. West Side, stand up. The ghetto is the way the ghetto is because people don't take pride in where they live, where they come from, how they view the ghetto. You know, and I always use myself as an example. I raise my hand, even though I might get embarrassed in the class when the teacher used to make y'all read, I raise my hand. When my mother used to tell us to take the garbage out, we lived on the 3rd floor on 142nd Street, Harlem, Crime Square, you know what I mean? Instead of going downstairs to take the garbage out, because it was so much garbage in the back of my building where the window was at, people used to just throw their garbage out there. And I seen people do it, so I did it, no excuse. But you start to view where you live as shit. So you treat where you live like shit. So my young, lazy ass, you know, seeing people in my building do it, seeing other adults do it, seeing other kids do it. Again, no excuse. I'm not making an excuse. What I'm saying is instead of going downstairs, taking the garbage out and putting it in the garbage, I used to just throw that shit out the back of the window. Mad times. To where it started being fun. And when you look back there, it used to be so much garbage. Can imagine the fumes and toxic vapors and all that shit we was breathing in. You know what I mean? Living in the ghetto, right? And I'm still here. I ain't making rich. If I do make it rich, I'm out of here. Like everybody else, nigga. Like everybody else. Because niggas don't want to see you do good in my hood. You know not to do good now. It's a 50 Cent reference. In my hood, you know not to do good now. Niggas don't want to see you do good. They're gonna shoot you and plot you to shoot your whip up. You know what I mean? Anyway, the attitude of the ghetto and the mindset of said ghetto is that you ain't shit. And like Tupac said, I tell you, I ain't telling you you ain't shit. I tell you, mama, you ain't shit. And you ain't shit. If you contributing to the detriment of the community, if you let your dog shit on the sidewalk, don't clean it up, if you just throw garbage out, if you add into the why your neighborhood looks the way it looks, you bring the value down. And when you go to other places, and I just use Miami Beach, a place I've been to a lot, right? You don't see that there. Even though it's a tourist place, so they probably clean up and keep shit good, but they want the value of the property in the area to stay high. So yeah, you may have fights and you can walk around with liquor and you may see booty rocking everywhere and booty cheeks and shit. But ultimately, I haven't seen dirtiness or filth. But you go to Harlem, you go to Brooklyn, certain parts of the Bronx, it's real nasty. Because the people that live there are nasty. They're nasty. Their mentality is nasty. Their mindset is nasty. And that's basically what LeBron was saying. I went on that whole diatribe speaking about Memphis and what LeBron was saying basically. And you hear homie moms and you see some of the, you know, the products of the environment that come out of Memphis and other, you know, ghettos, Chicago, etc., Detroit, Motor City, Compton, and the attitude of what they, you know, how they live and how they treat their own. You done killed your own this time. Y'all remember that shit from Atlanta? Rest in peace, baby girl, too, because that's sad. I wasn't trying to make fun of that. What else we got spinning? We have the baby. Speaking of the baby, right? We got the baby. So this is what he had to say.
And another thing too, man, is y'all starting to get on my motherfucking nerves.
We getting on his nerves,
my buddy.
Milky Way. Happy Sunday.
Of my two of my daughters, that he presented to me outside of a nightclub or whatever. First and foremost, I'm not the type of father that I'm not into, like, you know, grown-ass men discussing my daughters, painting pictures of my daughters, taking pictures of my kids. I don't play like that. If you play like that, to each his own. You see what I'm saying? Like, more power to you. Send that nigga a picture of your daughters, let that nigga paint them, and then show him some appreciation. Number two, I'm not accepting no painting of my daughters outside of a nightclub. Number three, you see what I'm saying? You feel a way about, you know, the principles I stand on with my kids and how far I go to protect them. That ain't none of my concern. Be more grateful to it. Let's go.
I just got.
And another thing too, man, is
The how this the picture, dog, of the baby kids and shit. Beautiful kids. I don't know what wrong. You feel me? I'ma show y'all the picture. The actual photo.
Nigga curved that shit, 52 block.
The how this the.
So basically now the baby is saying like, yo, you still got my daughters on your page as a grown man after I made it clear I ain't comfortable with that. Steady playing for attention on the internet, so when God put me back in front of you, I'm going to show you how serious I am about my daughters. Best advice I can give you, get my children off your page and keep doing what you gifted at doing. Use my kids ain't the route for you to go viral. That's the route to get hands put on you, right? So let me go to Charleston White real quick. I believe I saved the clip of his. I believe I saved the Charleston White clip.
and another thing too, man.
The how.
Where's the Charleston White video at? Damn. Let me go to this one. I thought I saved the Charleston White video. Here you go, right here.
I be waiting for one of these whole ass niggas to confront me. See, these rap niggas suck each other's dick. And
Raymond,
the reason I
what's
ain't
the
never
word?
liked
Happy
the
Sunday
baby because
fun
I
day.
first seen a nigga in Austin, Texas walking around naked with a pamper on as a grown man. So I don't like a grown man with the name DaBaby, no way. The guy who drew the picture for him is my second cousin. His name is BouT. He runs an art studio called BouT Creations. Very reputable guy. Every celebrity, and I mean every celebrity who have come through the Dallas-Fort Worth area, BouT Creations have drawn a picture for. He's very popular. He's drawn pictures for everybody.
Peace and blessings.
He don't
Same here,
ask
my
for no
brother.
money. He does this, and he's very creative. He does this on wood. So he does this on wood.
I ain't gonna play the whole Charleston White response to what the baby is saying. All right, so it's two sides to this story, right? One, you got the baby. You know, he got an image, whether you like it or not. I will agree with Charleston White. You know, when I first got introduced to the baby too, I seen him I ain't seen him personally, seen him online. Out there in Charlotte, wherever he from, you know what I mean? Wearing a big ass diaper. You know, obviously he cut up, so he, you know, got little muscles and shit. And he playing the role of a baby, right? The baby. Even though most recent in one of his interviews, I think he was saying like, yo, I ain't as popular or I ain't as popping as I should be because I didn't want to go through one of them doors. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like Noriega, like, yo, it's 2 doors you could go to, and the Illuminati approached me. Y'all remember when Noriega said that? Go Google it, right? So we niggas ain't just talking. This is what the entertainers inside of that world is saying. So I scratched my head a little bit and say, damn, you ain't as famous as you don't want to be, because you're basically saying you ain't going to let them play with your booty hole, or you ain't going to do certain things, you ain't going to sacrifice your family, or whatever it is. Cool. But when we first got introduced to you, you was walking around with a pacifier in your mouth, a fucking bottle in your hand. I get it. It's all for advertising, right? You was building your brand of the baby. I look at you sideways when I see that as a man. So I agree with Charleston White. But back to the daughter issue. One, you know, I'm a stepdad. I think I can't say I feel the same way as a biological parent. You know what I mean? Emotions is emotions, love is love. But I think it could be stronger. Obviously, if these is your kids, right? These is your kids, your flesh and blood. Even though bond could be, you know, you hear people say, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, all my niggas get down like what? That's a DMX reference. Or some may say, my family is the people I get it out the mud with, and although I have the same bloodlines running through my veins, that's just relatives. So you can have stronger bonds, stronger love. And what just happened here? I think we've been on here that long. All right, so let me share this first. We live on YouTube, and we was live on Instagram, and we live on my own platform over here in case shit happens. But I guess after an hour, they cut you off. So let's go back live on Instagram. Let's go back live on Instagram. Bet. All right. So we ain't going to tell you how to, be a parent. Nobody can tell you how to be a parent, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And you hear people all the time, even though I disagree, especially now that I'm in the cure of violence work and I work with kids almost damn near every day, right? From 14 to 25, even though 24 and 25, even 23, you're not a kid, but that's just the age range, right? These are the people, the young people that I work with on a day-to-day basis. People online and say all the time, like, yo, mind your business. You can't tell that woman how to raise her kids. You can't tell that man how to raise his kids and woo, what's done in their house. That's their house. Who are you? And I say, all right, well, I agree a little bit, but if I have a certain standard in my house and you have a certain standard in your house, I'm raising kids one way. And I'm going to show a video of a father, and it's a skit, but it's a great skit, right? I'm raising my kids one way. You're a little loose with it. You're raising your kids this way. Yeah, what goes on in my house got nothing to do with your house and vice versa. But now when our kids come out and they both walk out the front door with their lunch, with their book bag and their lunch, and they get on the bus together, they get on the train together, they go to the same schools together, they're in the same classroom together. It's possible that your less well-behaved kid, because you allow certain shit, can influence mine. So when we say, yeah, what goes on over there doesn't bother me, ain't got nothing to do with me, I disagree. But that's not basically here. Far as the baby and how he want to, parent. He say, yeah, I don't want no strange man coming up to me, making no, this is Biggie. I got another one of Biggie as well, right? Shout out to the young artist that did that for me. I met her during Harlem Week, and I ended up buying the joint of Biggie, right? I brought two of him, even though they had Nas. When is he supposed to give it to you? You say, I don't want no man approaching me with my pictures of my daughters outside the nightclub. All right. Should he do it at the bowling alley? Should he do it while you're eating lunch? Should he do it while you're going to Checkers? Should he catch you while you're coming out the gym? I get it. You could just say, yo, I'm not really a photo man. I don't really want my kids on the internet like that. And I have close friends who got daughters, right? And I don't got no daughters. I don't have no kids of my own. I only raised some step kids, two boys. Good young men. Salute to both of them. No jail, no gangs, no babies. Upstanding young men. And I believe I'm part of that, right? And their mother as well. I don't got no daughters though. So you say, yo, I don't want my daughters. So I brought my man up because he got daughters. He be like, yo, I be trying to tell my baby moms, yo, watch when you put my kids on this internet because you got some sick people out there. Do I think the artist who was Charleston White's cousin is some sicko? No. I seen the picture. Y'all seen the picture. Basically, he drew his kids. Where did he get the picture from? People in the comments like, yo, if you don't want your kids to be on the internet, then don't post them, right? Make your page private or whatever. So I guess he must have took a screenshot or he got the pictures from looking at the baby profile. He decided to do and make a nice gesture. As we can see, he made Kanye moms. He made a couple other people. As Charleston White said, everybody that come through Dallas, this is what he do, right? He makes a drawing and some artistry of, the different people. You don't have to accept. But once you say, yo, bro, I'm good, even though he trying to make it like the gentleman is being weird on some perverted shit, I don't think that at all. But once I make it known to you, like, bro, I appreciate the gesture, but I don't want that. And, I'm cool. But I also want you to take the photo down because those is my daughters. Those is my kids. I don't think he's wrong for having that stance. I don't think he's wrong. I don't know if the guy's using it for clout, but we know how the internet is, and we know who Charleston White is. This is a guy that says, I wake up in the morning, I stare at the ceiling, I'm alive. Whoo, what a beautiful feeling. Now, he didn't say that. 50 Cent said that, right? That's a 50 Cent reference. But what he said was, I look at what's trending. And if 50 Cent is trending, and I talk about 50 Cent. If Ray J is trending, I say, fuck Ray J. If King Von is trending, that nigga's a killer. He's a psycho. He got what he deserved. This is who Charleston White is. He's, an internet troll. And he uses that to play on our emotions, to get people to start chatting about it, to get strangers to be arguing with other strangers in these comment sections. So could the cousin be following that same vein after the man tell you like, yo, I appreciate it, I ain't take the picture? He should have just took it. Thanked them, kept it moving. Don't make it weird. Strange man, nightclub, making a drawing of my daughters. I don't think it was weird in that sense. He's an artist. When is he supposed to get next to you? Now, if he's known, then maybe he could have got in touch with your people. Like, you tell your friends to get in touch with my friends, then maybe we could be friends on some Puff Diddy, some Puff Daddy shit. And to all the ladies in the place with style and grace, like, you tell your friends to get with my friends and we could be friends. Yeah, maybe he could have got on the phone and said, yo, I'm thinking about doing something like this, or this is what I did for you. Do you approve? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, look like you stalking him and you waiting outside the club just to run down on him and show him the painting, and then he curve you, and then now you go to your social media page, or the baby curved me, and woo, woo. You should respect his wishes. That's all I'm saying. But I don't think he was a pervert. I don't think, he's a weirdo for drawing your daughters. He just was trying to making a nice gesture, as he's done for other celebrities, and that's all. Now you want to beat him up, and the tough guy roles and narrative continues, right? Never seen him beat no Russians. Never seen him beat up no Asians. Never seen him beat up no Arabs. Never seen him beat up, nobody but you're black. That's what he got that energy for. And then when he said that shit about them gay people, they curved him, they canceled him, and shit ain't been the same since for him since. I don't think he that nice on the mic personally. I'm from the era of the old school rap. I am what I am, and it bees what it bees. I'm from that era. So you ain't no Coogee Rap, you ain't no Nas, you ain't Hove, you ain't Jada, you ain't T.I. Let's go. You ain't Big Pun, you ain't Black Thought, you ain't a lot of niggas. You alright, but you not nice like that. You ain't Styles. You're not Fab. You all right. You just all right. And maybe that's why your career is not where you think it should be, or maybe because you ain't walked through one of them doors. But let's talk about this shit, though. We've been on here for a little minute. I didn't think I was going to go that long. But nonetheless, I ain't do a show in 2 weeks. My job got me busy, unfortunately. Let's talk about this Brandy shit, right? I want to be down with what you're going through. I want to be down. And let's talk about how she's coming out with a tell-all book. Tell-all book. Let me just text this person back real quick. I'm live right now. We can't be doing none of that. Hit me when you get around the block. Sorry, guys. Anyway, she got the book. I don't know the name of the book, but I know it's a tell-all book. And I won't make light of what she's saying. I never make light of women who accuse men for being predatorial, for what's the other word that is buzzwords? Grooming, sexual and all that type of shit. Because I don't want none of that shit to happen to none of my little cousins, my nieces, and none of that what's the word? I don't want none of that shit to happen to none of them. And I'd be damned if I'm around and some shit happen and I don't pop off in the way that I know how to pop off, right? However, on the other side of that token, because there's always two sides, we know a lot of women lie. We know a lot of women send innocent men to prison, tarnish their reputation, fuck up their career, make them lose $1 million deals and all these things, right? However, in this case, age is age. And what Ho say? Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. So she got a tell-all book coming out talking about Wayne Morris, however you say his name, Boys the Men, right? And End of the Road, and we go to the end of the road. You know, one of my favorite songs growing up as a kid. They played that shit so much. To the end of the road. Play that shit to sickening, right? We love Boys the Men, right? Boys the Men, ABC, BBD, the East Coast family, right? Now that she's come out and said what she said, you know what the internet gonna do. These niggas is police. Everybody hate cops and what cops do to motherfuckers, but everybody is a fucking detective on the internet. Not everybody, but a lot of y'all. Just keeping it a buck. They start doxing, they start searching, they start trying to dig up shit on you. And so what they spinning, I don't have the clip saved, but I'm gonna tell you what the clip is. It's a clip of Boys the Men on the Breakfast Club, and they're talking about the relationship with Brandy, and they making light of it, of how he was dealing with her, and even Charlemagne, the lesser charge nigga, right? The lesser charge, same nigga that's, you know, with the Meek Mills, and I might get to that, I might not. Talking about, you know, he was in awe of R. Kelly peeing and coming and peeing again, and all this crazy shit on the 14-year-old. This is who we talking about. He's asking him, like, yo, you know, but wasn't she underage, or what age she was? You know, he's questioning him. And his response was, well, you know, we was in certain states, certain cities, you know, it was legal. Sound crazy, crazy suspect to me, right? And then you got his, you know, the other members, they kind of laughing and joking about it. And I don't know if I like that. I think it's a bad look. I think, like, if you was 22 and she was 16, some gonna be like, well, it's legal. If it's legal, then it's legal. She's saying he manipulated her. He used his age, her age, and what turned out to be mentorship. And then he ended up sticking his dick in her. You know what I mean? Basically, that's what she's saying. Can't sugarcoat that. You know what I mean? I know on my channel, we live, we rolling, and we uncut, and we authentic. We our authentic self at all times, although we try to be respectful. I'm gonna call a spade, and it just is what it is. That's a Jay-Z reference. He stuck his dick in her, right? After he finagled, we going, you know, mentor you. We going to sing the songs beautifully. You know, you going to hit the high note. We going, you know, do all this, and then I'm going to bend you over when you're old enough. And it's also what he said in the interview. I'm not making this up. You can go look at the interview. He like, it ain't happened right away. Also, he like, we was friends at first. We was kind of like a mentorship. He even admits this. Then he like, as time progressed, then I stuck my dick in it, right? And they all laughing and ha, hee, and I'm sitting there saying, damn, bro. And the era of the Me Too, even though we kind of passed that, where people just come out, who was the most recent chick? The Pauline chick with the streamer, one night stander, bent over backwards, booty clapping sounds. And then she hit, you know, she go home and, you know, send me 2,000, or I'm going to say you took it from me. What? We in high alert, high awareness of women doing fuck shit. That's the reality. You could dread it, you can run from it, but that destiny arrives all the same. And it's not right for either one, for men to take advantage or for women to take advantage who never was taken advantage of the situation. So I say, why would you go on the Breakfast Club with your Boys the Men members talking in this fashion like it's cool, and it's not, and make you look bad, and make you look like, bro, you a creep ass nigga. You say you was mentoring her, you waited to now, and she was 18, right? 17, whatever the legal age is in whatever city, because he like, nah, we was doing it basically, you know, you what's the shit that got Diddy or what's the shit now that niggas could be accused of? What's the shit, guy? What's the two people that's watching? What's the shit you could get accused of now? Flying them out. Flying them out, and but that's not this, another word. Flying them out and trafficking. You're trafficking now, right? So you in New York, and let's just say it's not legal, but it's legal in LA. So I'm gonna fly you to LA and I'm gonna bust your cheeks. It's legal in Detroit, so I'm gonna bust your cheeks in Detroit. I'm gonna bust your cheeks all around the world, same song, but in New York I'm not. Really? Really? You think we gonna believe that bubblegum shit? My nigga, you look bad, and Where's your PR team? Because you not got away with it. It ain't like he ain't done shit, you know what I mean? Maybe take advantage, yeah, but not rape. And then now this is the other part, right? The other part of the equation and the argument. Because I seen a few people make the comparison, being how we was talked about Diddy briefly too. With Cassidy at 19, it was like Diddy took advantage of her. He coerced her. You know, even though I don't think so, because she was dealing with Ryan Leslie first. You was already in the business first. You knew Diddy was a little step up. Like you stepped it up. You jumped from our one whip to the other whip. The other whip was definitely better, right? Because Ryan Leslie ain't no P. Diddy, right? But you wasn't manipulated. You wasn't. Now, if he was your first, yeah, I could see that. But what people are bringing up is they saying Brandy was fast. And she was like a lot of other women, well, women now, but when we was kids, that was in high school, dealing with people in college, dealing with niggas that had motorcycles and pulling up with cars. This is not nothing we're making up. I know, and when men talk about this in the comments, a lot of women get triggered. They don't like to hear it. Maybe you was one of them. Maybe your friends was some of them. Maybe your moms or your aunties was some of them. And Kerry Champion, I think of her, right? She's a known public figure. She was on the Breakfast Club. Nia Long, right? Who we love. We all love Nia Long, right? She also, another one who said she was dating a 30-year-old man. Her mom's allowed it, right? Like, come on, guys. We going to be real or we going to tiptoe around this shit? I don't do that on Pop of His TV. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, right? We call a spade, and it just is what it is. You can rock with it, you can disagree with it, you can drop it in the comments, say, yo, you bugging the fuck out. And then we can have that conversation, right? And not troll each other, but we really can have a dialogue about who's right or who's wrong. But as a kid, when I was going to junior high school, and I went to IS-10, and I went to PS-43, right? Then I went to Brandeis before I got kicked out for starting the race ride. Then they kicked me out, and I went to Wildcat Academy, and then I went to prison at 16, right? My first bid. After starting the race ride and all that, black and Hispanic niggas, right, in Brandeis, right? And all three of those settings at PS-43 or IS-43, whatever it was, at IS-10, now it's the Frederick Douglass Academy, for those that's from Harlem, and at Brandeis. I seen girls that were my age that I liked, that they wasn't giving me no rhythm, right? And I wasn't popular in the school days, in my school days, right? We was definitely poor, so I had poor shit on, wasn't really hustling and doing shit then until the later, time, and then I ultimately went to prison for robbing and sticking niggas, right? Side note, I just, I like to be transparent on my channel. But when the girls I was checking for, they was liking the niggas that was older. The niggas that was hustling or had certain shit, they was fast, right? Is Brandy that? I don't know, because I didn't go to school with her. I don't know her personally to say that. So we kind of have to take what she's saying as face value and also what he's saying. He making light of it. I guess he don't feel, what's the saying in Islam, if you're not ashamed, then do it in public, right? Because shame should shield a lot of us from doing a lot of shit that you may not want people to know, right? And although you have shame, you're still trying to cover your faults. You're not putting your faults out there, right? And I don't mean like messing with kids and shit like that. That's wrong. I mean just stuff you wouldn't want people to may know about you. You're going to try to hide it. But he was bold with it. He was like, yeah, it wasn't illegal, or we was in the states that it was legal in. Bro, you sound like you're trying to cut corners to prove that you didn't do anything wrong, and that's not a good look. It's not a good look. Is she trying to sell books? Yeah. Yes. Was it Fast Girls when we was coming up? Yes. Of course it was. Was it Fast Boys? Yes. Just like it was older women, and I can experience this because this is my experience, and I've talked about this on the channel. Older women, when we 16, 15, that was 21, 22, around his age, same shit that he did to her, allegedly, they was doing to us. Oh, you so cute, Miss Kathy's son, and woo, you gonna be a heartbreaker and all this shit. I want to babysit you and all that, always the touchy-feely. For the stuff that they would do, that I've seen them do to me and other, boys, if you reverse it like a circle and you don't be whipped by that pussy, you whip that, you know what I mean? Rest in peace to the brother, right? From Boomerang. You don't be whipped by that. You whip that. The shit, if it was a man doing that to a girl, you're so pretty and touching and all that. No, we're going to label you as a predator. And we're going to fuck you up. And you're going to go to jail. You going to jail now, right? But the women was doing that to some of the boys that I know, me, other, people my age. It's the same. It's on both sides, men and women. Men lie, women lie, the numbers don't. The statistics don't. But the statistics for the boys reporting it may be a little less because in our perverted minds, when some of my mom's friends used to hit on me and, woo, and then when a nigga got older, end up, of age, knocking some of them down, keeping it a buck. Just keeping it a buck. Just keeping it a buck. Knock some of them down when a nigga got older. You know what I'm saying? It's still perversion. It's still some creepy shit, right? It's just that the boys don't tell it most of the time. It's like, my mom's friend hit on me. My auntie, you know what I mean? Not blood auntie, but the fake auntie, the one that's watching you while your mother go out and shake her fucking ass, right? And do all the shit that they like to do. You in the house, they smoking weed, playing cards. I don't even know who that is. Who is that? We don't report it because it's like, got some head. You see what BouT did to his son, right? You made other people on the outside looking in and said, it's perverted. You don't do that to your son and all that. You on woo and But a boy be like, yeah, I'm 16. She was 23. I got some buns. Like, you happy. Even though you may not be viewing it right and, psychologically, and they could talk about the studies later. We ain't know what we was talking about. I'm just saying how most boys would view it. Like, yeah, I clapped them cheeks. Got buns for the first time. She gave me a hand job. That's how some of us looked at it. So we didn't report it to the teacher, to our parents. Such and such, Tanya, they touch me. Where they touch you at? Touch my PP or whatever. Or we don't look at it like that. But it's the point that I'm making is still sexual abuse. It's still perversion. It's still some pervert pedo shit. Still is. It's just that it's a woman doing it. And boys look at that a little different than we may look at a grown man, an older man doing that to a young girl. So, I just thought that was interesting. You know what I'm saying? That she's saying, he manipulated her and he came on live radio show kind of bragging about it. It's kind of weird. I don't know if no charges or what's going to come out of that. Couple more quick topics and then we out of here. I seen this shit as well. Definitely want to talk about this because it is Easter.
On murder between Marcy and Nostrum.
Why do you think this police here?
What do you mean? What do I think is? I'm asking you a question. I'm asking, why are they burning fire in the neighborhood? What's the religion? What's the holiday? What's the holiday?
What's the holiday?
Passover. So they burn a big like this, not in a city public area to burn fire. Which was legalized. So you went to the community, you did just steps to do that. So if I do the same steps, I could do that and just say, I want to do Passover.
Yeah, so make sure you go through the process, make sure it's legal.
You gotta do due
Did
process.
you go to the New York NYPD?
Did you hear what I
For
said,
you to
bro?
do this right here with NYPD. Okay.
Everything's
To me,
legalized.
bro, listen guys, this shit ain't legal. Our heights and niggas ain't put them shits out. We light a fire, the whole precinct come.
That's
We
true.
want the same respect y'all give them.
We do want the
What?
same respect.
Yes, that the Jews is burning in Crown
Jesus is
Heights.
burning.
Come on. How y'all want us to really? All right, it's fair enough. When we see it every day that y'all pick and choose
I'ma stop
on
this.
what.
Police do pick and choose. We do want the same respect that they get, or do we? Because that's just lip talk, if you ask me. For most of us, not all of us. We're not a monolith, and what I do doesn't make it. That doesn't mean you do it. Don't mean you cool with it. But this is why I want to say it's Easter. I don't celebrate Easter. If you've been rocking with Pop, if it's TV, I appreciate you. As I say, good looking, right? But y'all know I don't celebrate no holidays. I'm not celebrating Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day. None of that bubblegum shit, right? I don't do none of that. But it is Easter. So shout outs to everybody that's celebrating Easter. And if you believe in that religion where this is the day you celebrate, then all praises due. Do you, right? You're not bothering me. They're celebrating, right? You see the fire inside the police barriers, right? It's blocked off. Ain't no fire gonna spread nowhere. Ain't nobody gonna get hurt. This brother feel entitled. Who told y'all I could do this? What clearance you went through? And this shit is some bullshit. He tried to equate it to when we do barbecues, right? And I agree. I've seen plenty of videos where police was out of line or doing the most. Even black police or other blacks. And you know what we're gonna say. Oh, but you're black. And you want to go to South Africa, right? Say, damn, we black, you black. Why you gonna flip the whole grill over? I've seen videos like that where the police flip the grill over, waste the food. You know what I mean? Like some faggot shit, basically, right? And it is what it is, in my opinion. Some bitch weak nigga shit. Anyway, we also know that at this event, the Jewish event, ain't gonna be no shooting, ain't gonna be no ain't gonna be no Jews arguing with one another. They ain't gonna stay out to 12 in the morning when it's time to pack it up at bedtime. They're not gonna go in the park with no permits. They ain't gonna get, they're not gonna do it without being certified and going through the proper channels. Or maybe they will. But it ain't gonna be no violence, especially amongst them. Now somebody may stumble across and let some shots off, but it ain't gonna be them. Why do I mention this? Because unfortunately, not all, so I have to say that. Some of y'all coming, you ain't talking about the black people like that, man, you black. Of course I'm black. And of course I'm black first. Meaning I'm going to rock with us first. But I don't condone and agree with all of the shit that we do. Now that I'm a grown man. I don't. Even though I once was swimming in the fuckery and the foolery. Number one. I was a number one agent. You know what I'm saying? Doing the most. And then I matured. I've been through some shit. God blessed me to get through the shit. And now I have different views in how I see things. And that comes with growth and maturity. But not for everybody. So again, not all barbecue settings. But niggas don't get no permits. They put the fire on the sidewalk where it don't supposed to be. They do it in the park or areas it don't supposed to be. There's alcohol, there's weed smoking. It's the most going on. Loud music, people doing the most. And before you know it, you look up, it's just you and your family. For even the ones that try to do nice little ones and not like a block party. You and your little cousins and them, you and your little peoples, y'all just having a nice little barbecue, but you know how I go, yo, we over here. You might be known, you might not. People see other people are barbecuing, so now it's the whole crowd. And niggas act like niggas sometimes. So that's why they come shut you down. And when you say we want the same respect, yeah, we want the same respect. But you know why we don't get the same said respect? Because we don't respect ourselves. We're going to do the most and treat each other like shit. We're going to kill, shoot, rob, loot, do the most to each other. And they don't do that. They like this. They like this. All they funny faces and beards and hats, all the systems that they break, and they got, Section 8, they on welfare. All the videos we see spinning on social media now, it's a free fall. Everything is exposed, right? Climbing out of the hole and shit. Dealing with kids, maybe, possibly, all the rituals, worshiping Satan, all that shit could be said. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to be like this with one another. And if you oppose them, you're going to get Kanye West. You're going to get the baby. You're going to get cancer. They're going to make sure your bag is gone. They're going to erase you off the planet. Like you ain't never even exist. They're going to unplug you from the matrix. And you'll be looking around like, damn, I thought I had niggas with me. I thought I was powerful. No, you're not. You don't got the juice like them. At the end of the movie, what they say to them? You got the juice now, Q. You got the juice now. No, you don't got the juice because we don't rock with each other like that. We against each other. So we're not going to say, I was about to say we'll never have. I'm not going to say that because I hope we do have. And I'm going to be one of the reasons why that mindset that we can have the same thing that they have. So I kind of say I'm jealous of them because they're going to get policemen. They're going to get people in office and political. They're going to get people. It's like the mob movies, right? Back in the days on how the mob used to be, and all like arranged marriages in Arabia, right? People, they hate on it. But it's like, nah, we got this whatever it is. I can't even think of something, but just say whatever in your mind. We got all of the camels over here. We the camel family. You got the oil, or part of some of the oil. My son gonna marry your daughter. Now we gonna be the oil camel family. We gonna be tight because we're bound together by marriage and bond. You such and such, and the mob will say you ain't tough. So you going to law school. You gonna be the mob lawyer. You gonna go be a politician. You know what I mean? Like when they say the Russians and all that, they send them over here as agents and secret spies, or the Japanese and the Asians. That ain't far-fetched. They send them over here as immigrants. Their families come over here. They come over here. They become your borough president, and they take up positions so that when shit get critical or votes is being taken, they're gonna vote for their people. They with their people. We don't do that. Nah. I'm over here with it. We BBCs over here. They DDIs over there. They TTXs, and we separate instead of being together. So we never. So for right now, we won't get the respect that they get. We ain't gonna go through the channels. We ain't gonna read. We ain't gonna pick up no book. And like Jada said, you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. You ain't gonna read shit. You ain't even gonna use ChatGPT. You still using Google on some bubblegum shit. You ain't trying to progress. The niggas you with can't even think past 5. That's why y'all on 0. I'm being funny, but I'm not. That's why it's like that. That's why when you go out the head of the IDIs, them niggas is stupid. They're not organized. They don't mobilize. They can't make no shit pop off in the hood. Only thing they could do is pop off crazy and make niggas scatter. They can't get 100 niggas to show up and do some positive shit. Do some shit that's going to change their neighborhood or their block. Get a store out of there and put a black store there. They can't do that. And I'm saying not that it can't never be. What I'm saying is their mindset and they thinking is not of that. Their mindset is not that. The Jews, the Africans, when they come over here, they're going to buy the block back. They're going to come over here, sneaking or whether it's sneaking or coming over here legally. They're going to go to 116th, and I'm just using Harlem as an example because that's where I'm from. They're going to go to 116th. They're going to speak French. They're going to speak their language. They're going to say, yo, we're going to get you a bike. You're going to do Uber up and down these streets. We're going to get a building, and we all going to be in that same building. I've seen Asians do it as a youth. Come here, all sleep in the same apartment. While we can't wait to get away, they staying together, bringing their people over, working the business. Then when they can afford it, boom, we get another apartment so we can have some space. But we still working the business. Then we get another business. Then we bring more people over. We don't do that. We don't do it the Wu-Tang told us to do. If you on YouTube, you can see it. If you on Instagram, then you can't see the flag. You can't see the Purple Tape. One of my favorite hip-hop albums of all time. What they say. My seeds grow with his seeds, marry his seeds. That's how we keep Wu-Tang money all up in the family. That's how we keep the money in the family, dickheads. That's how we stay together and stay strong. Because my seeds grow with his seeds, marry his seeds. That's how we keep Wu-Tang money all up in the family. But what the black people do, most of us, right? You get your check. You work hard for the money. She work hard for the money. Then you come outside. You go downstairs to the Arab corner store. You give them your money. You go to the Chinese. You buy that chops. You buy that chicken wings and the French fried rice. You give them your money. You go to the 99-cent store. Might be the Asians. Might be the Africans. You give them their money. You go get that Dunkin' Donuts, right? You like that latte? You like that chamocha or whatever you be drinking when you go to work? You give the Indians your money. You go to the broke down Kentucky Fried Chicken and Popeyes, and you go to the Kennedy spot. It's either the Arabs, the Indians. You give them your money. You go get the Caribbean Star. You like the motherfucking oxtails and the rice. You give them your money. Do you see the point that I'm making? You work hard for your money, and you get your paycheck and you give it to everybody else, except somebody that look like you. That's why you ain't gonna get the respect. Because the Jews, they spend the money with themselves. They don't even let you get a fucking building in their neighborhood, nigga. They come to your neighborhood, buy the neighborhood up, raise the price, and your mother gotta get out. And Warhol said, don't die in the neighborhood that your mama renting. Your mama renting, and the rent getting higher. And you killing your own kind that live in that neighborhood and you don't own shit. And it's saddening, but that's what it is. So that's one more of a story, and then we out of here. And I did been on here for a little minute. You know I could talk. You know I could talk. You know what I'm saying? Where's this story at? This story right here. Speaking of the neighborhood and speaking of the mindset and stuff like that, I know this is a skit, but I think it's one, it's good that we have skits like this so we can see. We need a girl version because the girls is out of control. The boys is out of control and the girls is equally out of control, coming from somebody that work with both almost every single day. Almost every single day. I ain't gotta lie. I ain't gotta embellish. I work with kids every single day. Damn near, right? But anyway, this is a skit from a restaurant, the father, or maybe he's just the skit instructor, and he got 4 boys with him and he's showing them this lesson right here.
I didn't get the second one.
That's right, man. I'll get that for you. You guys asking for a lot today. Say excuse me. Say excuse me. Say excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse me?
Yes, sir.
You got some manager?
So that's what we not gonna do. We not gonna get no attitude with that. You understand that? So we gonna put our hands down and we gonna ask nicely. If it's okay, may I speak to a manager?
It's okay. Can we speak to your manager?
Yeah, I'll go get my manager for you right now. Say thank you.
Thank you.
What's his problem? He might be having a bad day today. Who knows?
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they
Yeah, sometimes people, hey, look at me. Sometimes people have bad days, but we don't catch no attitude. We don't get attitude back, nor do we, start snapping at people. We don't curse. We don't do any of that stuff. You understand that? We as men keep our bearing. You understand that? When we have issues, what should we do? Stay calm and keep our bearing. You understand that?
Yes,
All right, so we had to ask her to speak to manager just because we just need to let her know our experience. Because if she's not doing good, we're not having a good day at the restaurant. We had to ask for our refill. We had to ask for silverware. We had to ask for plates, all this stuff, and then he not bringing stuff out. We had the wrong food. So think about all that stuff, and then you need to tell the manager that when she gets here, okay? But you're gonna tell her nicely. You understand that?
Nicely, respectfully.
How can I help you? We having a complaint about the waiter. We would ask for more plates and refills. He smelled the plates and he said it was way too much.
So y'all were being too much, and then he threw the plates down.
Yeah, I have any complaints on this side?
And also, we had got our food. When we had got our food, he had forgot to give us silverware, and then when he did give us our silverware, he forgot to give him
Speaking
food,
well.
So, and he forgot my order, and he placed just rice on my plate.
Okay. Did we get your food corrected already?
Yes.
We did? Okay. I apologize for our server's attitude towards you guys. That's unacceptable. I will go have a talk with him and hopefully we can get things cleared up. Is there anything else I can do?
No, ma'am.
You sure?
Yes, ma'am.
How's everything going?
Good.
Alright, I just want to come out and apologize. My manager spoke to me. I was having a really bad morning, guys. I hit something on my car, and I took it out on y'all. That was on me. I apologize. Thank you guys for bringing it up. It won't happen again. How's your meal? Is everything else going okay?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Anything? Just let me know, holler, alright? Alright, so this is what we want to do here before we ask for the check. What did he say was going on his day?
He had something going on with his car.
He had something going on with his car, right?
Yes,
so what's something we can do? Ask him, is it okay to pray for him?
Is it okay to pray for you?
Of course, man. I actually very much appreciate that. Alright, cool. So you want to say a prayer for him?
Alright, so they basically said a prayer. It's a good video. I think more videos like this need to go viral. I forget what the dude from Atlanta name is. He was saying when the talent, I think he was showing a woman that could sing her ass off, and then some dancer, some rapper talking about, chicks dancing and shaking their ass, and he like, this video gets 5,000 views, but the shaking your ass and the nigga acting other than a man, right? Even though he's singing a song or rapping a song, 100,000 views. So videos like this won't go viral, but if it was, men acting sassy or women, let me speak to your manager and rolling the neck and doing all this dumb shit, right? The lack thereof of emotional intelligence, then these videos go viral of that type of attitude and display of behavior on our behalf, right? So, I don't know about the praying part. I pray all the time, but I don't know if there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, can I pray for you and young kids and shit? But the message, the behavior, the mannerism, the man telling them, stand firm. Don't be jumping out of, the pocket. And again, I work with kids, and even outside of the kids that I work with, just walking the street. My job as a cure violence worker is to be in the neighborhood that I'm from. So I can be standing on any corner, walking in any block, which I was doing anyway before I was working with them, but, not in this capacity that I'm doing now. Now I'm doing the work. just was talking about it on YouTube. Now I put the energy behind my words, right? And I'm grateful for that. Hopefully we can change some lives. But I see kids in the Dunkin' Donuts, in the McDonald's, where we go and patrol or be around just to try to, de-escalate violence, mediate violence. And I mentioned Dunkin' Donuts because we was in there getting coffee, and the guy messed his order up like we was like 14 deep. We rolled deep, and the kids that came in, they was like 7 to 8. First they looked in like, damn, this mad niggas in here, so they didn't come in, right? Even though we had ordered and we just was on a little break. It's cold outside, and they looked back in, then they came in. They came in, they ordered. And, our job is to interact, which I'm going to do anyway, right? So what's up, young brothers? Woo, gave them a little, the little card that we be passing out about our organization, etc. Try to check the temperature, right? Because they need that. They definitely need that. But one of the kids, he was overzealous, just real loud, real emotional. Guess the guy told him he couldn't get something or whatever. Yo, this fucking dude is a day room nigga, just saying the most. And I'm looking at him like, you probably never even been in a day room. you have no idea what a day room nigga is, right? Like that terminology I see amongst the youth is like a herb or a play word. Like, yeah, you a day room nigga, so that mean, you soft or, you just stay in a day room all day. And that could be the furthest from the truth. It has some truth to it. Some people play the day room because somebody had the, the dorm or the building and they was controlling the phones and they didn't want you in the hallway, where the bubble was at, where the phones was at, you stay in the day room. But some people just wanted to mind their business. They didn't want to be involved, so they didn't want to have to hurt nobody. Plenty of day room people that was in the day room get busy. So to hear people always say, you a day room nigga, and just listening is like, you really don't know what you're talking about. But, just overzealous and hype. And we have a lot of young boys, unfortunately, that's overzealous and over, emotional about any little thing. It could be any little thing, over the top and dramatic. And what this brother is trying to teach the other young brothers is, as men, maintain your composure. Stay sturdy. Stay firm. You know what I mean? So that way you can assess the situation. You could think it through to the best of your ability. You don't want to be thinking, with the wrong mindset and get yourself jammed up or get people that you love or care about jammed up. You want to be able to think and process quickly. If you over emotional and you overzealous, that's going to hinder you from doing that. So this is a great video. Hopefully it go, super viral and people can learn from it. The comments was, the comments was real good, and we like to see stuff like that. I think that's about it though for guys. Long show, long weekend might come for Monday Motivation tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We see if we wake up on the books. But y'all know who it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live. We rolling. We unscripted. We authentic. That feeling. Back up and here. One more again. Yeah, kid. Gotta be safe out there.